And we're back talking about the ongoing war in Ukraine. We're chatting with Olesya Shyvikova. She is a journalist and documentary filmmaker. Olesya, before the break, we didn't have a lot of time to get into it, but you have been working with an organization over in Ukraine. You're going to be helping some kids with that, or helping them cope with getting through the conflict. Could you just tell us a little bit more about that project? Because it's an interesting one.
Yes, please. And, whoever is listening, if they have any ideas of how can we make it happen, how can we make it really become something substantial, they can reach out to you, hopefully, and you can give them my contact information. So when we're in Ukraine, the last time we're filming, we're like as filmmakers, wherever we go as volunteers, journalists, we always film, right? So that's, you just put your camera on and keep going. And we noticed that when the teenagers, in the first village that has kids is 15 kilometers from the minus line. Minus is the Russian positions. And that's very small, short. But in terms of, it's the first one that where kids were not evacuated. They evacuated from the direct combat zone. So they are considered 15 kilometers buffer. So there are kids there, 300 and something kids, Tavrisky, Zaporizhia. And when they saw us on the streets with cameras, they would congregate like ducklings and walk behind us. Can I see? What are you doing? Can I press? Can you ask me? Can you film me? So, it went on and on and on, and we became a local attraction, So I started talking to them, and I'm a mom of one of my kids is 17. So I understand for teenagers to be able to tell their story is cathartic. Like it probably, and I see it as a filmmaker all the time, you're talking about some difficult conversation and people are telling their story and suddenly there is this. So I thought that how amazing would it be for these kids that didn't go to school for 4 years, COVID and then war, to be able to learn a skill that will be able to give them an opportunity to cope and tell their stories, and maybe send it to one of the international film festivals and put this little Tavrisky village on the map for them, right? And you never know what's going to come out of it. Maybe some of them will become journalists, filmmakers, film directors, right? So this was our idea, and I brought it home. And we are now we're halfway through for the finances because we want to equip a classroom, not only, to come and teach them to do filmmaking, 3 weeks camp, but also to equip a classroom. So to have computers and cameras, and the teachers there are going to learn as well with the kids so that they can, take it as a club at school. This is what we're, but unfortunately, we're not yet there. So this time around, we're just going to be, hanging out with the kids. We'll bring some food, we'll bring gifts, because we're not there yet for the financing of the school. If anyone has any ideas, please reach out.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful that you're doing that, because so often the kids are getting lost in the shuffle of wars and that, right? I mean, they did, like you have said in the past about animals, right? I mean, kids, they have nothing to do with this conflict, and yet their lives are getting turned upside down and often getting caught in the crossfire. So it's wonderful that you're providing them with some kind of a mechanism where they can help cope and address, get some of that stress out that they're dealing with. I want to ask you about this interesting story that you told me about cats. How cats are helping the people of Ukraine with.
This is very funny because
they're under attack.
So we as filmmakers, sometimes we go to places we shouldn't be, and journalists, like the active positions, the bunkers, or they call the trenches and the dance. And what was really funny, apart from tea and sweets that guys offer you in the trenches, was the cats. And they have this little bowls with cat food and water and everything, like cats. And they told, we have 9 of them. Each trench has why cats? Oh, they are the deserted cats that people left, and this cat survived. So the cats know exactly when to get out of the trench. They know for how many minutes or for how many rounds will the munition gun work, do. And they somehow know that now it's safe to go. So I asked them, so when is the safe to get out to the car to get out? And they told, you have to watch the cats. Once the cats are out, it's safe to go. And they come back before the munition starts working again. I have no explanation how, but it's a very funny, warm story. Yeah. And the guys feed them. And then one of the units has a wolf. they found a wolf cub, not my unit, but I know of like it, and it's not an anecdote, they do. And they fed him because he was shelled, like wounded. And now they have a wolf, a combat wolf.
Wow. Well, is the cat smarter than the wolves?
Yeah, I guess they will be fighting for that. Every unit will have the smartest one, right?
I guess so. We'll be back with more just right after this commercial break.